Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Can you see me down here? Well, I have this tiny little race whoop with me. This is a CINERACE 2 and it's by FLYWOO, and they call it the CINERACE because it's actually really fast. That's what they say. I've never flown it, and that means it can do freestyle and racing. The cool thing about it is the form factor, the size. It's got these little, the other reason they call it the 2 is because it's got these gem fan props on it that are 5-bladed and they're 2 inches. So that's how they got the 2 in the name. But they left out the name whoop. At least I don't see it in a lot of the literature. It's actually a Cine Whoop race because this is a race whoop here, and that's normally the size they come in. Look at how small this one is here by FLYWOO. It's really cool. And this one is the HD version. It's all digital, so I've got the Polar Nano camera, which I've never tried before, in the front digital. Got a CADX Vista system in the center, and I'm going to use a DJI FPV radio to connect to the receiver in it, and I'm going to use my little DJI FPV goggles to connect to the little camera in the front. It's got an F4 flight controller on it, so it should be pretty darn good. And I put a little CAD DX peanut camera up front to record some video. So I'll have video from this camera and video from the little one up front. And I want to tell you about the batteries. I just have so much stuff on my Jeep here. All right, so I've got 3 batteries in my hand, and what I want to show you is this. So this is a 300 milliamp hour 4-cell LiPo battery that was sent to me with this here drone by FLYWOO. And they say if I fly it with this, I should get 6 minutes as long as I take this camera off and don't use any camera. So that's 6 minutes of flight on this little guy. And then they sent me this, I've thrown them all away. Then they sent me this one, the 900 milliamp hour LiPo battery. And they say, if you fly with this one on here with no camera, you'll get 12 minutes of flight time. But if you put a camera on it and fly with either of these batteries, you're going to cut your flight time in half. So I brought with me something in between both of those batteries. I brought with me a 550 milliamp hour LiPo battery, which is not too heavy. It's a good size, and that's one I'm going to use on here as well. Now, last thing to say before we go fly is even with all those heavy batteries on it and this little peanut up front, we're still under 250 grams. So this is going to be a very popular whoop. If it flies as well as the specs say it should, then I think it's going to be one of the most popular whoops around. So let's go try it now. All right, so what I'm going to do is I have my GoPro hat on up here, and it should be filming this here drone in front. So I'm going to plug this in right now. I have the battery on. The cool thing is you can put the battery on sideways or, you know, straight in line with the whole drone body, or you can put it sideways. I've got it on sideways. So we're ready to fly now, and what I want to do is just show this thing flying, because even myself, I've only flown in the basement, so I just want to see it flying out here. So let me just stick it in angle mode for flying here, arm it. There we go, and take it on up. And it sounds like a vacuum cleaner, just like all Cine whoops. There we go. I'm just trying to keep it in the cameras right here so the cameras can catch it. So it's a little windy out here. You can see if I go up to the tree here, if I look up. There, see the tree blowing in the wind. There's a Cine whoop up there, or my CINERACE. Yeah, but it's pretty sweet. All right, I'm gonna bring it really close to my head up there. There it is. Flies really nice. It should be really good flying around the area here. All right, so let's put it down, see if I can get on a nice little landing over here. There we are. All right, so let's take it for a real flight. This should be fun. All right, so for this flight, I am going to use the 550 milliamp hour LiPo battery. That way I should get more than 3 minutes of flight time because I do have the little peanut camera on the front. All right, we are ready to go. Put an acro mode and arm it, and the recording on here should start working. Yes, it's on. So I do have a recording in my goggles, which I'm going to show you, plus the peanut camera. And let's go. I'm going against the wind a little bit. Not as fast as I originally thought. Okay, well, let me get away from the wind a little bit. The wind's blowing me into the trees, so I'm on a bit of an angle here. Let's go past that. The wind's blowing. You probably hear it in my microphone. So there we go. A little bit better. Flies well. It goes exactly where I'm pointing the nose, which is really good. Here, I'll get out of this side. Oh my God, can you hear that wind just blowing now? That's not good. All right, let's bring it back to me, and I'll fly around myself. It's so tiny. These little tiny guys in the wind, they really are affected. You could just see as my motion, like going forward, it's not as fast as it should be. It's like I'm going super slow, but I'm actually moving here. There I am, back of my head. But look at this. You could just buzz beside myself. Really nice. So this could be used for a lot of cinematic stuff. Ooh, I just blew up some dirt there. All right. You could have a blast with this, flying in and out of places, around things, making cinematic movies. This is really decent. Oh, I like this. All right, so let's go over here. I'm gonna see reception. Ooh, the wind almost blew me into that number 7 sign. I'm gonna go over here and go through these trees. I'll see if I have reception going through the trees, coming back. Should be, because usually digital's pretty good. It's using a different type of antenna on here. I'm going really low to these little nets. So there's the trees. Might have some blotchiness happening in my reception video, but very little. It's good. It's good. It did well. Not an issue at all. Seems like it works quite well. Man, that wind is just blowing on my face here. You can see our trees are kind of changing color right now. Fall is happening, and yeah, there's one tree. Not all trees have changed color, but there's one, this one here. I'll go on the other side where you can actually see the colors. There we go, and look at it that way. There you can see some fall colors maybe. Oh, it's green there. It looked orangey to me. There you go. I see a little bit of orange now. So over the next 2-3 weeks, the trees will change colors, and yeah, then that will be followed by more rain and more snow and everything else. All right, so here we go. Let's try out some freestyle with this. We're gonna get out of the sun so the video looks good. Point it this way, and there we are, and just do some little flips. No problem. I'll keep it close so you can hear the motors when I flip it, so watch. Whoa, that was incredible. That was incredible. I flipped it, I killed the power, and then I brought the power back on, and it almost dived into my Jeep. Like, it was inches away. That was incredible. All right, so I will not try that again. I was very low to the ground doing the rotations of the flips. Let's go a little higher so we're safer. Here we go. There we are. See, if you're up high, not as much a problem. There we are. It flips fast. It flips faster than I'm used to. Hang on a sec. Here, I'll go slower. There we are. So I'm slowing down the flips now. There we are. I have to give it some gas so we don't crash, but there we go. That's good. And the rolls, I'll go slow. So it's all good. It is not killing itself and dropping like a rock after rolls, even when I go slow. So that's pretty decent. It's got lots of power. And I'm looking at the voltage, and the voltage of my 550 is good. If I were to put the 300 milliamp hour LiPo battery and the peanut camera on, it would be much better because it's less weight. Right now I've got quite a bit of weight on it with the 550. You know, it's only a little bit less than the 900, but yeah, every little gram counts to make things much more easier to fly and maneuver and do all the stuff you like to do. So pretty cool so far. Liking this. Got to get up through there. There we go. It's so small that you can go in and out of anything you desire. There's no worries with that. All right, next thing I want to do is just take it down the field a bit. I'm going to give it full power. There we go. You can hear it screaming now, but that's about as fast as I can get. I'm going into the wind. So yeah, not much faster than that into the wind, this little guy. You can see over to my right, there is a, what is that, a soccer game going on? Oh, you can see the kids there, and they're running towards the ball. Hopefully not me. Let's just look back. What were they running towards? They're all down there. All right, let's go this way. Let's go away from them and come on back this way. Now I'm going with the wind, so it should be a little bit better. There we are. So I'm just going to reiterate, I thought this would be faster. It's not as fast as I thought in the wind. If there was no wind, it would be pretty darn quick, but overall, it's still pretty zippy with the 550. If I put the 300 on, it should be faster, and I mean, if I put the 300 milliamp hour LiPo battery on and take off the peanut camera, then it will be much faster because it won't have all that weight. Right now, it's like, it's got like twice the weight of this drone almost, like that it's got to lift and push around. All right. So let's bring it back for a landing, and I'll give you my final thoughts. So here we go, coming around, and where am I? Oh, the sun has gone out. So there we go. Let's just hover right here. Let's go put it, instead of the landing pad, over by my feet. There we are. Next thing I want to show you is what I received when this drone came to me. Also, you probably noticed mine looks different than other reviewers. I have black on one side and a sort of greenish yellow on the other side. I changed that because FLYWOO sent me different ducks So this is all like a Lego block. They click together, and then you put the two pieces of carbon fiber, bottom and top, to hook everything together. Now, everything I'm about to show you is not what you're gonna get if you buy this drone, analog or digital. It's just what FLYWOO sent me. You'll get some of the pieces, but not everything. Some of them are accessories and you have to buy them. Anyways, enough of me talking. Let me show you. Here. Here's the box the CINERACE comes in, and these are the specifications of the drone shown in this video. You can see here the drone is rather small. Look at the size of the drone compared to my thumbs. It does have an F4 flight controller. Mine is the Vista system digital with the Polar Nano camera. It has 20 amp ESCs and 3400 kV brushless motors. Included is a new Mushroom 5.8 GHz LHCP antenna for long range. If you order batteries or you own batteries, make sure they have an XT30 connector. A power supply is included for a naked GoPro, as well there is a power supply and a connection for external receivers. My drone came with 2 sets of gem fan 5-bladed props. I also received a pile of extra screws, as well as a very long battery strap for large batteries. An extra landing protector and sticky battery pad was also included. FLYWOO also sent me extra ducts in case I wanted to install them, as well as every conceivable camera adapter for this drone. And finally, FLYWOO also sent me a couple of batteries so that I could try them out, as well as stickers. Please note that this drone also has a Bluetooth device built in so that you can connect to the SpeedyBee app and do all your beta flight settings right on your phone. Now, as seen in the video, my drone had a yellow duct and a black duct, and here I am installing the yellow, removing the black. It just comes apart like a Lego block. Finally, just to reiterate, the drone is under 250 grams even if you put a large battery on it and the peanut camera. All right, there we go. I have the 3 batteries together, and I just want to show them to you because the top one is the battery recommended by FLYWOO. It's a 300 milliamp hour. They say if you put that battery on, no camera on it, you'll get 6 minutes of flight time. If you put the camera on like I did, it's a lot of weight, you're going to knock it down to 3 minutes of flight time. And also, it won't be as agile in doing freestyle and other things because of the camera on it adding more weight, and it won't go as fast. So if you want it to go fast, no camera on the front. Next is the one I used in the video today. It's in between these two. It's the 550, and I thought that would be good. You know, it is pretty heavy, and with the peanut, you could see with the wind, this here was not going as fast as I expected it to go, but it was still extremely agile, and it went everywhere I pointed this drone. So you could use this for those really cool videos that you see on YouTube where people fly from outside, come inside in a bowling alley, fly around, do all that cool stuff between people's legs, in and out of things. Look at how tiny it is. And to go back outside. This is the drone for that. It would do it with a little peanut camera. You'd have no problem with that. Finally, the last battery here, this, you can buy this, all these batteries on the FLYWOO, no, well, actually the top one and the bottom one on the FLYWOO website is the 900. So FLYWOO sent me that, and they said if I use that, don't use the peanut camera because it's going to be a lot of weight. You know, but it's going to get you like 12 minutes of flight time. So if you want 12 minutes of flight time, just flying around, having a great old time, then get yourself the 900 milliamp hour battery. So my final thoughts on this are, it's like any other Whoop on the planet. And that is that they're a heck of a lot of fun. Man, Whoops are so much fun. You have tiny Whoops, you know, the little tiny things. Then you have CineWhoops, which look like this because they have the ducts. And the reason you have the ducts is because when you're going under or through things, you might hit something. And these drones will just bounce off whatever they hit and you can keep on flying. You don't have to go pick up your drone or anything like that. They're just made to bounce off stuff. So yeah, really good for stuff like that. I do like the size of it. It's going to come in handy on a lot of cool things I want to film in the future for some projects I have in mind. So this will be a really good drone for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put links below to where you can get, this is the digital version. It comes in digital and I think 2 versions of analog. So check them out. Everything is below. Check out the specifications, whatever you can afford. If you're looking for something this small in a race CineWhoop, then this might be the one for you because it's pretty much so far the only one that I have seen that is true to form of a CineWhoop in this size factor with powerful motors and the 5-bladed props. Other thing I want to make note is that everything is polycarbonated or carbonated like pop, I don't know, polycarbonate, I don't know, polycarbonate, is that the word? Anyways, it's the type of molded plastic, I believe I'm trying to say. Maybe that's what the brain is trying to say. Molded plastic on here, which means that it's not 3D printed. And It's the type of molded plastic that is very strong unless you smack into something really hard, because then you're probably going to crack it and you can just replace it. It's very inexpensive to buy the ducts. They come in twos in any color you want, pretty much any color you want. And like I said, it's a Lego box. You just click them together, put the screws back in top and bottom, and you're all set to go. It's really simple. All right, guys, thanks for watching this video. If you have questions on this drone, just post them below. The sun is going out, so I guess I gotta go. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will catch you in future videos with many more cool reviews of drones, cool like this. Till then, bye.